When it comes to discussing the Indiana Fever's real title hopes, I feel that ESPN is a little disrespectful to them. I believe I mentioned that if you can make it that far, you have a real chance to win a title. I believe one of the last 4 teams will remain. We are going to examine something. Since the Washington Mystics fan base is now experiencing a serious fire and has recently seen a huge influx of new fans, we're going to start here first. Why do we say no today since they selected Iowan guard Lucy Olson? Tells the truth about what's going on in the sports industry. 2 significant stories are brewing today. We'll start by discussing why I think ESPN is being so disrespectful to the Indiana Fever and their hopes of winning a title. Next, we'll change topics and discuss the Washington Mystics and the increasing interest and anxiety over Lucy Olson, their recently selected guard from Iowa. Believe me when I say that both of these tales show how the WNBA is managing its business, and it's not always beautiful. She posted some holistic numbers that are just as impressive as they are in college, and many people are fervently hoping that she will put that team together. And when you see how she made a difference in the first 3 or 4 days following draft night in the aftermath, which was a social media explosion, I said, if you're somebody involved with the WNBA or the Mystics or whatever, from a business standpoint, just an economic standpoint, let's get going with Lucy Olson and the Washington Mystics, because things are really getting out of hand at the moment. The Mystics fan base has suddenly exploded. In case you missed it, there has been a huge surge in new supporters, and it's clear why they choose Lucy Olson, an Iowa guard who displayed some very incredible, indeed holistic and hellacious in higher education. You could sense a change in energy immediately following draft night. Compared to the Mystics' other draft selections, Lucy Olson caused a social media frenzy. She wasn't even close to popular. In and around Lucy Olson, it was roughly 10-1, clearly demonstrating her popularity in comparison to their other 3 choices. It wasn't even close. It was about 10-1, which was a huge lift. Iowa supporters deserve praise because they adore their players who make the switch. However, when I saw this, I thought, yikes, that's not the kind of huge boost any organization would dream of. Iowa fans deserve a lot of credit for this. They adore their players and keep. As they enter the professional ranks, fervently follow them. If you're a member of the WNBA or the Mystics and you're considering this solely from a business perspective, you have to acknowledge the significant impact Lucy Olson made. She was more than just a player in the first 3 or 4 days following the draft. She was a marketing treasure trove. Thus, when I noticed this most recent report, my first thought was yikes, because Lucy Olson's prospects of making the opening day roster appear to be slim. Lucy Olson did a good job assembling this team, and she's forming this squad, if I'm the Mystics, and apologize. In terms of business, she's making this team. This article is from SB Nation's most recent WNBA draft. Picks will not be included in their rosters for opening day. Since this is the longer of the 2 things I have, we will begin here. The Washington Mystics selected Lucy Olson, a guard from the University of Iowa, 23rd overall. Each of these players' collegiate fan bases are also being discussed, and if I'm the Mystics, that's unquestionably the incorrect action. The article, most WNBA draft picks won't make their opening day rosters, from SB Nation, explains everything. For athletes like Olson, it presents a challenging image. According to the article, Lucy Olson, who was chosen by the Washington Mystics with the 23rd overall pick, has difficult odds. Every college fan base that had players selected for the draft rejoiced tonight, but a harsh dose of reality is on the horizon. Many of these beloved fans will hear devastating news when rosters are finalized in May. They were not selected for the team. Let's examine the figures. Only 13 of the 36 players selected in the WNBA's draft last year made the opening day rosters. Only 15 players did so the previous year. That is a significant portion of players who are selected but never participate in a game. It poses a serious query since there is no league or actual minor league system to support these players. Why does the WNBA even have 3 rounds in their draft? Each year, 12 players are chosen in 3 rounds, 3 notable individuals from South Carolina. These players all applauded those choices. It's exciting to see their school's top players start playing basketball professionally. But in a few weeks, teams will have to face reality as they finalize their rosters in May before the regular season begins. Although your prospects of making the squad are significantly reduced, being selected outside of the first round does not mean your goal is over. The initial round, players typically find a home, while second and third round picks have far less certainty. There are currently just 156 spaces available in the WNBA, even with growth expected by 2026, unless you're an international player who hasn't joined the league yet. In contrast, the NBA has 450 roster places. Moreover, 92-way contracts made possible under the G League structure. The devastating news that they were not selected for the team's roster will be delivered to several of the fan favorites who were drafted. Actually, 13 out of the 36 WNBA players chosen last year made the opening day rosters. The year before, 15. That's a lot of players who don't make the roster after being picked, which begs the question, given that you don't have a league, why do you have anything past a first round? There are 3 rounds of 12 players in the WNBA draft. They may still make the opening day rosters, even if they are not selected in the first round. However, it drastically lowers their prospects. It's simple to understand why it's so difficult for WNBA players to establish a career, particularly for those selected in the later draft rounds. The odds are stacked against Lucy Olson, to put it briefly. However, if I were the Mystics, I wouldn't give a damn about her chances of making the roster. From a commercial perspective, Lucy Olson's contributions cannot be disregarded. You require admirers, you must sell tickets. More TV ratings are required. Only a few later picks were able to earn spots in the WNBA, but Lucy Olson, who is the type of player who can truly make a difference, found a home there in her first year. It continues by discussing that there are 156 positions in this league that will increase to 180 by 2026. All right. In contrast, the NBA has 92 and 450 contracts, which is where the G League is located, and so on. Although it's improbable second-round choices could go on to have successful WNBA careers. Therefore, it is informing you immediately in advance. Oh no, Lucy Olson might find it difficult to make the WNBA, although that doesn't exclude another team from acquiring her. If I were the Mystics, I believe this is one of the WNBA's issues and something the league sorely needs if it hopes to make money again after 27 years of losing money. You seize the chance to expand your fan base and raise awareness of your league when it presents itself. To be honest, so many people were intrigued by that Mystics decision that it might actually affect their TV ratings this season. Take a moment to consider that. Not only are the Fever's games attracting large audiences due of Caitlin Clark, but Mystics Games is also attracting new viewers who are only interested in Lucy Olson. I believe you need to find a method for this. From a business perspective, this woman should be on the team. There were so many people interested in that pick that I thought, this is so many people that it might actually influence the league's growth. If this league wants to develop, they should seize the chance to attract, retain, and grow its fan base. TV ratings for the Washington Mystics. Imagine that for a moment, as many people are merely viewing the Fever. However, I would tell you that based on her college numbers, you would think that they would pay attention to Lucy Olson, have a chance to join the squad. It remains to be seen if she succeeds, but I believe you get what I'm saying. You must seize your opportunities. You have a league that hasn't made any money in 27 years. Like, her college grades alone indicate that she is capable of having a significant influence. It's unclear if she will formally join the team, but it makes perfect sense from a commercial perspective. Turning now to the Indiana Fever and the overt contempt they're receiving from ESPN. This definitely raised some red flags for me. ESPN just published an article discussing WNBA training camp queries, including inquiries regarding whether the Fever are a real championship, and their opinion